Without a doubt, the United States has built the strongest, most technological military in the world. There's a reason American soil's only been attacked, twice in the last 1 or 200 years? Fear. Even with a weakling like Jimmy Carter, or a president who lives in a constant state of confusion and delusion like Joe Biden, enemies of America still fear our military. I've told you guys many times before, you are not going to conquer this country through military means. It's just not going to happen. We have the capability to be sitting in Washington, D.C. and hear a starving man fart in Ethiopia. A starving Ethiopian man, he is similar to the state of California. They don't have much gas. In order to conquer our country, the only way to accomplish the goal is from the inside out. You got to topple America from within. Right now, there's a variety of ways that they're doing this. They are indoctrinating our children, raising an entire generation to be confused about gender and sexuality. Growing up is hard enough already. Becomes a hell of a lot harder when you can't figure out which fucking bathroom to use. They have infected the mainstream media with the woke fungus, which has caused everything to become politicized. Wasn't that long ago? We can escape politics by watching sports or watching television. You turn on the NFL Sunday, you're going to see end racism in each end zone. Both the NBA and Major League Baseball are more woke than a meth tweaker. The handful of people who watch the WNBA, they are constantly bombarded with political messaging. Gender pay equity, woke welfare, please accept us for the men we're trying to become. Proper pronouns, birthing persons, pound that brown. Throughout our history, there has been one government institution that for the most part has remained apolitical: the military. We've already lost public schools. We've already lost colleges and universities. We lost the mainstream media decades ago. Hollywood, sports leagues, big tech companies, big business in general, all infected with the woke fungus. If we lose the military, we're screwed. Unfortunately, that is exactly what they're trying to take over. If I remember correctly, we've talked about the woke fungus infecting a branch of the military in the past. I think it was maybe the Navy, maybe the Coast Guard. I can't remember. But Wednesday, Fox News, they issued an exclusive report highlighting what is being taught at the Air Force Academy in Colorado. Now, I'll admit, I don't know shit about military training, but when thinking of pertinent areas of Air Force training, I would assume recruits go through boot camp, learn how to properly use firearms, then at some point, learn how to fly planes, learn how to hit a target from miles away, being thousands of feet in the sky. Imagine my surprise when I found out the Air Force is now offering some new and exciting training to new recruits. It falls under the umbrella of sensitivity training. There's that phrase again, sensitivity training. You know who I expect to enroll in sensitivity training? A fucking psychologist. When it comes to someone defending my country, I don't give a fuck how sensitive they are. Matter of fact, I don't want them to be sensitive. I want them to be a badass. The Air Force is describing this program as diversity and inclusion training. If anything we have should be exclusive, it should be the military. I don't want diversity in the military. I don't want inclusion. I want the toughest motherfuckers that we have to offer. Black tough guy, great. White tough guy, cool. Asian tough guy, perfect. What I don't want are quotas based on woke checkboxes. We don't have enough genderqueer black men. We don't have enough transgender Asians. We don't have enough non-binary berries who grew up with an affluent family in Soho. We need more diversity. Part of this diversity and inclusion training is brainwashing recruits to use language that is gender inclusive or gender neutral. Don't call your parents mom and dad. No. Please refer to them as birthing persons or my caregivers. It would be even better if you didn't call your parents at all. That way we can fully brainwash you unopposed. You expect me to call my dad caregiver? Really? Caregiver? Hey there, caregiver, how yous doing? I would not have to worry about foreign enemies kicking my ass. If I called up my dad and called him caregiver, he would beat my ass so bad I'd have to borrow Preparation H from Stephen A. Smith. If an Air Force recruit, if they have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they have solutions for that too. Of course, our modern military, they prefer all recruits to have boyfriends. That way, they can justify their budget of taxpayer-supplied bongos. But if you're a dude with a girlfriend, you are not allowed to call her your girlfriend. That's an improper use of language. You must call them your partner. But Casey, what about mythical racism? How is the Air Force addressing mythical racism? I've taught you guys well. You just knew. You just knew. We could not have diversity and inclusion training without including mythical racism. Oftentimes, when civilians are accused of mythical racism, they'll defend themselves by saying they're colorblind or they don't see color. According to the United States Air Force, that terminology is no bueno. Instead, you're instructed to say, I am color conscious, or I see color patterns and value people for their uniqueness. Let me ask you something. Who fucking talks like that? I've been alive 37 years. The only time I've heard someone use the phrase color patterns is when my girlfriend's talking about decorating the living room. Value people for their uniqueness? We don't need the military valuing people for their uniqueness. We need trained assassins. We need people willing to risk their lives to defend our country. We don't need cadets in their platoon worried about violating the woke commandments by using improper pronouns. Commander, I received your memo stating I am being disciplined. What is my charge, sir? 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 How dare you assume because I have a beard thicker than Joy Reid's wig that I'm a sir? My name is Rachel Levine. Value my uniqueness. Not only do I have breast, my cock fits perfectly inside Brian Stelter's donut. You have been convicted of using improper pronouns. Your punishment is full-length cucumber insertion. Grab the Preparation H and bend over. Commander Levine is coming to play in more ways than one. At the beginning of this training, the Air Force, they assured cadets that they were sitting in a safe space. They informed cadets that everything said during the training was confidential and told them, do not share what we learned in this training with the outside world. Safe space. Safe space. Someone please give me one example, one situation where a member of the military will ever find themselves in a safe space. Hello there, Mr. Terrorist. That is a nice bazooka that you have. I can show you exciting ways to use that for self-pleasure. I regret to inform you, you are not allowed to harm me at this moment. I am standing in my safe space. I'm sure the Air Force encouraged or maybe even banned cadets from releasing information learned in this training to the public. I'm 100% sure they don't want us knowing what they're teaching new recruits. They knew the reaction would be negative. This is nothing new. Nothing new. This is standard procedure in the woke movement. There is no transparency. They don't want you knowing they're brainwashing your child at school. They don't want you finding out the son you're so proud of for joining the military is being taught how to pamper ass instead of kick ass. But unfortunately for the shitfucks running the Air Force, their cadets, they didn't listen to their demands. They leaked portions of the presentation to Fox News. Lieutenant General Rich Clark, he issued a statement saying, our diversity and inclusion training is being taken out of context. There's nothing to see here. We are simply teaching recruits the importance of respecting others. You think China, Russia, you think they're teaching their military the importance of respecting others? You think they're teaching their military how to use proper pronouns? You think Vladimir Putin gives a fuck which pronouns you prefer? Go chastise Vladimir Putin for using improper pronouns. Let me know which building you mysteriously fall off of. What concerns me the most about this is what we don't know. Oftentimes when information is leaked like this, we're only getting part of the story. What else are they teaching incoming recruits that we don't know about? These shitfucks are dismantling everything in this country. If they succeed in dismantling the military, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Bumbling Biden, he has emptied our strategic oil reserves just so he could lower gas prices before the election. We are completely reliant on foreign oil after being energy independent the last, 3 or 4 years? If the worst case scenario happens, what are we going to do? We'll have no fuel for planes and tanks, but that's okay. We are doing our part to prevent global warming. Yeah. We won't have to worry about global warming if we ain't here. The soldiers that were able to fly over there to defend us, they'll be more concerned with addressing their enemy with proper pronouns than defending the fucking country. Public schools, dismantled. Police, defunded. Mainstream media, corrupted. Sports, propaganda machines. The rare cases where the police are actually allowed to make an arrest, corrupt district attorneys let the criminals walk. And now the military, which used to conduct boot camps more similar to the movie Full Metal Jacket, is now conducting boot camps similar to RuPaul's Drag Race. Last week, I was reading a story about crime in Chicago. Criminals in Chicago, they've expanded their territory. Instead of the bulk of crime occurring on the south side of Chicago, they have spread to more affluent neighborhoods. I mean, makes sense. Would you rather steal a Schwinn or a BMW? This carjacking ring, it went on a spree in a rich white neighborhood, stealing 3 or 4 cars in the span of a few hours. In one case, the victim tried fighting them off. They beat the shit out of him. People in the comments section, they were expressing their sympathies. Oh, this is so terrible. I feel so bad for you and your family. Part of me feels the same way. But another part of me feels like you're getting exactly what you voted for. People living in Chicago, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, places where crime continues at record high levels, I don't feel bad for you. Woke politicians, they are no longer hiding their agenda. These people told you what they were going to do. They told you they were going to defund the police. They told you they were implementing no cash bail, opening the streets wide open to criminals. You voted for them anyway, all because they had the D beside their name. If you want to be a dumbass, these are the consequences. In Pennsylvania, you got Dr. Oz running against some dude who has less brain activity than Joe Biden. The guy can't form a complete sentence. Yeah, I know, he had a stroke, which is even more of a reason he should not be in power. Yet the people of Pennsylvania, they will likely vote him into office anyway. Then they'll turn around and complain when he turns their state into a war zone, just like he did the small town he was the mayor of. But anyway, I've rambled long enough. Let me know what you guys think. The Air Force Academy, training cadets on the use of proper pronouns. How deep do you think the brainwashing goes inside of our military? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.